This weekend's project? Get FrankenTruck to roll on her own. But first, getting this seat mounted. I got some lines here that I got to cut and fab up some new mounts. Once I get the seat mounted, I'm gonna get these driver's doors on, or front doors, driver and passenger. Figure out how to set the hood on here. I do have it where it will crank with the key right now, crank and start. But I don't have the grid heater actually hooked up to anything right now, so I'm working on that. That's a starter relay down there, then these are the grid heater relays. I've got a little electronic work that I'm going to do to make those come on at certain temperatures, and only one if it's engine coolant is a certain temperature, and both if it's colder than that. Got this battery box put in, and got a battery sitting in here. It's a 65 series battery, which is a Ford battery in here right now, but it's what I had, and I misplaced the other battery that I was going to put in here, so I got to find that. And then I've got the other battery tray over there underneath those fans. But I have had it running. It was too cold on the night that I took the video of it. It was 24 degrees, and I got it running off one battery. So, you know, these Cummins, they don't take much to get running. They generally start pretty good, contrary to popular opinion, somewhat popular opinion. But I did have a problem with my fuel tanks. I am running off this passenger side tank right now because my driver's tank, apparently the fuel pump went bad in it. And I had an electric fuel pump in there, which was an old TBI pump from like a 90s Chevy pickup. I mounted it in there. These tanks were originally used on a gas truck, an 86 Chevy that I had. It was not fuel injected, but that's the pumps that I used. And that driver's tank sat empty for a long time, and I think it must have rusted or seized up somehow. Anyways, I had a Perkins 354 turbo motor here that I had thought about putting in a pickup. And I kind of changed my mind. It was going to be more work than it was worth. And to get it running, I used just whatever tank was close, which happened to be this passenger side tank. And so I had diesel in there, and so of course diesel's pretty lubricitized, lubricationified, I think is the right term. And so that one did not rust up, and that was several years ago. I've still got videos of that on YouTube, you can check it out. It would have been a sweet motor to put in a truck, and I probably still will. I just ended up selling that because I got this Cummins, I got this whole Dodge pickup at an auction for a song, and so I just wanted to make it happen. I had to sell that in order to pay Peter back, because I'd robbed him to pay Paul. And so Paul was happy, but Peter was not, so I had to sell that Perkins for Peter, for Paul. But anyways, so it does run, but I also don't have wiring going to either one of these tanks right now. Right now I'm just running off that battery there, which is junk, but it's good enough to run one of them fuel pumps. So I need to finish wiring that this weekend. So I want to wire that into the switch. I want to put the seats in, mounted permanently. Get the hood set on here at least with maybe some tie down straps or something, because I want to pull this thing out, and I've got other stuff that I need to work on for a little while. A few other things that I need to do for some other people and stuff like that. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to take video all weekend, and I guess we'll see if I'm pulling this thing out of the shop by the end of the weekend. So stay tuned. Okay, let's start this thing with the key. What do you say? I've got my grid heater hooked up to my headlight switch right now. Got a little bit of preheat there. Oop. Oh, what's the deal here? There you go. Huh? Huh? So there he is. It runs. Well, it's Sunday night, and it runs, it drives. I drove it over to here. I drove it out around the trees out there, and back over here. What's that? Oh, that's a whole nother project. I'll do a video on that some other time. That's a whole different deal right there. Anyways, it runs, it drives, it steers a little weird because the front leaf spring shackles, I don't know if you can see that, I made them too thin, and so with the lateral forces of steering side to side with the crossover steering, it actually ends up moving the whole axle a little bit, and gives for a bit of a wonky feel. And so anyway, so I need to remake those. I've got material for it already. I already knew I was gonna have to do that. The hood is just strapped on there just to cover it up, keep the elements away. Who do we got coming down the road here? Bob. Hi, Bob. Oh yeah, got the doors on. This driver's door is not adjusted right. I'll do that some other time. But anyways, oh, it's gonna be outside now for a while because I got other stuff to do. So stay tuned.